Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. It was sent to me by one of our admins, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? So I always find that time to listen to your confessions. But what has brought me here, it is my own life story, and what pains me the most is that I really do not know if I'll ever be able to find a partner. If my parents were that rich, I'll say that even if a woman gets married to me simply because they want the money that my parents have, it would be far much better, because I won't be lonely anymore, because I am someone who is always lonely at all the times. At any given moment, I am always lonely, like 24/7. Here and there, I do some hookups online, but I do not have the nerves and the confidence to go and meet up with that person because of my severe disability. I am 23 years old, but it feels like I have lived several times. I have been bound to this wheelchair for nearly a decade now, unable to move from the waist going down. My body, it feels like it is a cage, my prison. And every day I am reminded of the night that my life changed forever. It started when I was around about 13 to 14. At that time, I was completely unaware of what my father and my mother were up to. Little did I know that my mom and my father, they had already started with their rituals of trying to get rich. We were living in a small rural village here in South Africa. My father was not a wealthy man. In fact, we were struggling, but he was ambitious, always dreaming of finding shortcuts to riches. I often heard him talking with my mom about how he was going to win the lotto, if only if he could get a lucky charm that was going to make him to win the lotto. He was involved in a lot of stuff. There were always people that would come, your prophets, your sangomas, strange visitors coming to our house, mostly foreigners, those that were spiritualists, and they would come really late at night, sometimes somewhere around 10 to 11 p.m. And then they'll be talking about how my father could become rich. He lost a lot of money from these people that were scamming him, so much that he ended up selling one of his vehicles. But I never paid any attention. I was focusing on my education. One night, everything changed. Like during the day, I kept on feeling like my life was about to come to an end. I was just feeling weird. Then around midnight, that was when I woke up. When I woke up, I was sweating a lot. I felt a strange presence, like a pressure in my room, and there was this heavy silence, like I was in the graveyards, the kind that can make you to feel really uncomfortable and you are not alone. I tried to move, but I could not move at all. My body was feeling heavy, like something was holding me down. That was when I saw it. In the corner of the room, I saw that there was someone, a little man, a figure that was crouching. So I could not even understand if this was a dream or not. But the more that I looked at that little demon in the corner, the more real it became. It was small, really small, the size of a child, but really scary. Its eyes glowed red in the dark, and its skin was like leather, almost like a lizard. Oh, it was a tokoloshi. And when I saw that it was a tokoloshi, I tried to scream, and I could not even scream. I had heard a lot of these stories about your tokoloshis, but I never imagined that one day it was I who was going to come face to face with a tokoloshi. This tokoloshi, it crawled towards me. It was moving fast and slow at the same time. Its eyes were always fixed on me as if it wanted to eat me up alive. I wanted to scream, but no matter how hard I tried, no sound came out. My throat was dry. My body was paralyzed with fear. The creature climbed onto my bed. It was really smelling like rotten tomatoes. and its foul breath hitting my face as it leaned closer to me. Then it was smiling with this sickening grin. It turned me over. That was when it began to dig its sharp claws into my back. I felt everything. I felt like I was being stabbed by 1,000 okapis all at once. The pain that I felt as it was tearing my skin apart, the pressure as it was holding onto my spine. I could hear the sickening sound of it chewing. This thing was eating me alive. This was the dream, the vision that I had, as if it was like a wild animal. It was eating me. All that time I was in pain, I was in agony, but I could not move. I was helpless. I don't know how long it lasted. Time seemed to stand still, but at some point I passed out from the pain. When I woke up, the sun was shining and everything seemed normal, except for one thing. I kept on having this crazy feeling that I was not okay. So I got up and I went and I was hanging around with my friends. When I was returning back from one of my friends' house, that was when I just crossed the street. When I crossed the street, I did not even realize that there was a car that was traveling at a high speed. That was when that car hit me, and then I lost consciousness. I was then rushed to the hospital. When I woke up, that was when I saw my mom. She was there, she was crying, and these were the people that had made me to be paralyzed, yet they were pretending as if they did not even know what I was going through. There was no reason as to why I had to cross that road, as busy as it was, without double checking. But it was like there was a spirit that came and possessed me. After I had been discharged from the hospital, my father was unusually quiet during those days, and I could sense that something was wrong. One night, that was when another man, I clearly heard him. He was speaking in Shona, and he was speaking with my father. And then they kept on talking and talking, so they thought that maybe I was asleep, since I was always complaining of feeling real pain and I was struggling to sleep at night. And then I saw that this man, he was there, Sangoma, and he was the one who had promised them money. So my father had offered me in this ritual. So this ritual was supposed to make my father to be wealthy when I was still in the hospital. So something had gone horribly wrong. Instead of gaining the riches, all that he had was a son that was paralyzed, and my father had got nothing, no wealth. That man then promised them that once he returned back to his country, he was going to bring them some herbs that would make my father to make a lot of money. From that day onwards, that man never returned back. My father, he became a shell of himself. Whenever I would look at him, you would see that he was always guilty, but he has never admitted to me what he has done. So right now, I am struggling. I have spent 9 years trying to come to terms with the way that I am. I have been in and out of hospitals. I have seen countless doctors, but no one can help me. As for the tokology took more than just my ability to walk. It took my spirit, my trust, my own family. And what hurts me is that I can't have a relationship. I can only lie to the women that I meet online that I am good. But when it comes time for us to see each other, that is when I just block that person. I am a lonely man, always spending most of my times playing my video games and being online. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admins. She was the one who gave us this translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.